I've been thinking lately about how is it that we make disciples? How do we help other people grow in Jesus? How do we help other people know who Jesus is and what Jesus is like and what he's done in mine and your life? You know, that can be one of the most scary tasks for most Christians, including myself. Oftentimes that I've shared the gospel or have wanted to speak into another Christian's life, I have done so with fear and trembling. I become awkward and shy and don't know if I should say what I should say because I don't have my act together. And so I don't say anything. And a lot of Christians are like that because we fear rejection and we fear what people will think about us. But sharing our faith with other people can be one of the most refreshing and rewarding things in the Christian life. As we do community together and as we share life with one another. Because what you're going through is something that somebody else is going through. And the way that you know Jesus, somebody else may not know Jesus quite like that yet. And so what we do is we do what Jesus did. We walk with one another together as we go. And so as we go, that means anywhere and everywhere we talk about Jesus and what Jesus is doing in our lives. Because Jesus is making an impact in your life today. Well, while I'm walking, I'm going to go ahead and ask Pastor Chase what he thinks about discipleship and making disciples in the home. Hey, Pastor Chase.
What's up, bud?
This week in our devotional, we're talking about multiplication and replication.
Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you disciple your children in the home?
Okay. Yeah. So honestly, we're walking through Proverbs right now, and one of the Proverbs that in Proverbs 22 actually says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he's not going to depart from it." I would say that in the home, the approach that Rebecca and I take is twofold. One, it's we do have some time throughout the day, or in our chances in the morning, that we specifically sit down with the kids and talk with them, and we don't expect a whole lot of feedback because they're tired, they're getting up and stuff like that. We want to kind of start their day off with prayer and a verse of the Bible. The second thing that we do, and I think Rebecca does fantastically, and I think I'm doing a decent job, is we find those little pockets throughout the day that if there's a moment we can teach them, we can disciple them, then that's what I would say in the home is you're looking for those very specific times of you're going to train the child up and you're going to sit down and around the kitchen table, but you're also looking for those times that you plan those. I'm actually in my sermon on Sunday, I'm actually talking about proactive and reactive. So you're proactive with those times, and then you're also reactive with the times of discipleship, but always pointing our kids towards Jesus.
As we continue to talk about making disciples, I'm going to go see if Paige can tell us a little bit more about how she finds people to disciple her and how she makes disciples. Paige, I'm working on a video right now on how to multiply, like how to bring people along with Jesus and how to replicate. Can you tell us a little bit about what you think about how you find people to disciple you and how you disciple others as you go?
Sure. Okay, so discipleship and like multiplying, like what does that look like?
Yeah.
In my life?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so for me, I think of discipleship as you want to get to know people and help see where they model Christ, and that's where you model Christ too. So I always look for a lady who's older than me, maybe in a different season, and I ask if I can meet with her and get to know her. And sometimes that's over coffee, sometimes that's in their home. I have a really good friend named Rachel, and we met probably for 2 or 3 years. And sometimes I'd be in her kitchen, and sometimes we'd go, meet at a restaurant or whatever. And we just really got to know each other, how to pray for each other. We would share what the Lord was doing in our lives as we read His Word, and we just were friends. So anywhere I go, I like to try to be always looking for, who can I learn from? Who can I grow with? And then the other thing I like to consider is who's younger than me that I can learn from and grow with and maybe help. And so at my old church, I used to be involved in the youth ministry, and I had a girl in my group who we would meet for coffee, probably once a month, maybe every other week or so. And we got to know each other and pray for each other. And what I've often been amazed at is how in God's economy, you think you might be helping somebody else, but in fact, they're helping you as you grow in your faith towards God. So I always try to get to know people. And then another big way to do that is through hospitality. So have lots of people in your home. That can be people who don't know Jesus, and you're modeling, what it looks like to be a servant leader. That could be coworkers, it could be church members, it could be just friends, and you're always trying to think like, how do I serve the other person? And hospitality is just full of that, because you're cooking and cleaning and you have more dishes and things like that. But you also get to know people in your home and care for their real needs. So I don't know if that's what you were looking for, but.
Well, with hospitality, you're gifted, one of your gifting is hospitality. Do you have to have a clean home and
No.
to do hospitality?
Hospitality is just opening your door to someone and inviting them in. I mean, yeah, you want the toilet to be nice enough to sit on and use, and you want your plates and cups to be clean, if they're going to eat off of it. I mean, there's a certain level of sanitation, but I'm not talking like your house has to be pristine like Martha Stewart before you can have anybody inside. Because relational ministry or just getting to know people is, hey, come as you are. This is who I am. And yeah, I'm trying to keep a clean house, but like I work a lot, and sometimes I have a hard day emotionally and I can't get to everything. But that doesn't negate the command that Christ gives us to make disciples and to exercise hospitality.
We've heard from Pastor Chase on how to make disciples in the home. And we've heard from Paige on how she finds people to disciple her and how she disciples others. If you have any questions about how to disciple people as you go, feel free to reach out to Pastor Chase or Paige or myself. We'd be happy to walk alongside you as you continue to make disciples for Jesus.